Good morning, Facebook fam. It is day 10, and that means it's day 4 on the topics I am working on to better myself in this life lift. Today is a very special topic to me, quite like number 2. This is near and dear to my heart, so I'm going to be probably passionate about it, and it might even be a little bit of longer video. As I've stated time and time again throughout the 90-day life lift, my life lift pertains to me, and I'm working on the things that I feel in my life need to be better, radically changed, rehoned, revamped, whatever you might want to call it. So, today we're going to talk about spiritual. And yes, I have my Jesus Would Have Rode a Harley t-shirt. I think it's a cool t-shirt because we all know he was a rebel. So he probably would have rode a Harley if he was around today walking on earth. We all know he's around in heaven, but he's not here on earth walking. So I can go many different directions with this. I'm gonna do my very best. As some of you may know who know me, when I make these videos, I do not take notes. I just rip and read right off whatever's in my mind. I bring it to you. I feel that way it's fresh, it's not rehearsed, and it's truly from my heart. So, spiritually, what am I doing to better myself spiritually? And like I said, you may not need to better yourself spiritually. You may not be interested in bettering yourself spiritually. You may not even believe. I'm not here to convert you. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm here to tell you what I am doing, what I know that has become part of my life. Okay? So let's just get that out of the way, get my little disclaimer out of the way. Many of you do know that my wife and I have a ministry, Wide Open Love Ministries, and we also have a calling. We're both leaders at our church, and we minister over the divorce care group. And, Lorianne and I just have a passion to help people better themselves spiritually, financially, physically, mentally, whatever it might be. We just love helping people. Lorianne's a teacher. I guess I could be considered a teacher or a trainer. I've been doing it for a long time, and we just love to just build and embrace and work on everybody's success. So that, a major part to us is obviously spiritual. And what am I doing to better myself spiritually? Well, for starters, obviously, I spend a lot more time in prayer. Does that mean I go in a little closet or a room and I get on my knees and close my eyes and do long, drawn-out King James prayers? No, not at all. It means I just talk to God on a daily basis all the time. No matter where I am, it doesn't matter. He's listening to you wherever you are. And I have long discussions with him. Some may say, all right, well, there's no God, so Zach, you just talk to yourself, and that's how you work things out in your mind. That's your belief. Fantastic. As long as you're good with that, that's cool. I work a lot of stuff out. I've seen miraculous things happen. I've seen changes that I can no longer consider coincidences. I've seen my life radically change. Some of you may have known me from years ago. Now, I was grounded in faith since I was a little kid. My mom and dad were very, very prominent people in our church and in our, where we lived. My mom is actually an ordained pastor. My grandfather was a pastor. He actually helped Dave Wilkerson with Teen Challenge in Brooklyn, New York, back in the 50s when the gangs were huge and in the 60s. And, it's funny. I remember growing up and going to my grandfather's house, and he was a street minister, or an evangelist, as we call them. And going out with my grandfather and just being around, drug addicts and gang members and bad people. And you know what? All he did was love on them and just tell everybody how awesome they were and how much God loved them. And I never, ever once, ever felt insecure or unsafe. I do remember going to play softball with my grandfather and having rival gangs meet on the field. Not one curse word was said. Not one fight broke out because they respected my grandfather. Uncle Charlie was the man. And we had a good time. So I've been been rooted in it all my life. But I walked away for quite a long time. And as many of you know, I was completely out of control. I went over to the other side, loved partying, loved drinking, loved all that stuff. And then one day my world came crashing down, and it was time for me to straighten myself out. And I'm not here to give my whole testimony, but that's how I got back to where I am. And every day I strive better. So what have I done to even increase myself more? Well, as I told you, a lot of things and a lot of times you have to do are things that you're not comfortable with, or things that, not necessarily uncomfortable is a bad word, but things that challenge you, or things you might be apprehensive of, like going through that one door. You don't know what's on the other side, but you got to do it. So I'm making myself read a lot more. I really enjoy reading. I really enjoy learning. But I tell you what, reading the Bible teaches me so much stuff. There's so much wisdom in there, especially in Proverbs. As a businessman, there's just knowledge and knowledge and knowledge. And so I study that, and I try and put those applications into my life. And, my biggest thing is, I've got not a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but there are people out there who don't believe in God. And I don't know that anybody's ever challenged my faith per se. They've definitely challenged my belief. And, it doesn't faze me anymore. I used to be a defender of the faith. I thought, you talk bad about God, I'm going to punch you in the mouth. Probably not what Jesus would have done. So I definitely I've kind of turned the tables on people now, and if they want to bash God and all that, I say, hey, look, man, prove me wrong. I'm tired of having to prove to you, because you're not going to listen or believe me anyway. So prove me wrong. I challenge anybody to prove me wrong. And a lot of you even know what my challenge is to prove me wrong. I'm not going to go into that right now, but it's all good. So I just build myself that way. I build my foundation. I love on as many people as I possibly can, because this world is a little messed up and it's hurting. And I feel just putting a positive spin on things and loving somebody, giving a good arm around the shoulder and just telling them, man, you're awesome. You don't care what anybody says. I love you. God loves you. It doesn't matter. So that's an aspect of it also. Lorianne and I have been working on our ministry, and we've been doing video blogs for that. We did our first one Saturday. We're going to probably do another one this Saturday or Friday night. Not sure, because we're pretty busy Saturday. Get that up on our website for Wide Open Love. And I've just dove deeper and deeper into challenging ourselves to become better at our calling. Lorianne loves to teach, as I said, and she's an evangelist. She loves to tell everybody about God and everybody about God's love. If you come across her and you don't have a smile on your face, she's going to make sure you do when you're done. And I've got my calling. Again, something I'm not going to go into right now. A lot of you know it. It's no big deal. I'm not here to convert you. I'm here to tell you what I'm doing. I'll never convert you to my God. You have to have your own personal experience. And then he'll reveal himself to you. And if you want more information on that, of course, you all know you can inbox me and talk to me about it anytime. Another thing I like to do, I like to give back as much as I can. Does that mean monetarily? Well, sometimes it does, yes. Sometimes when we have the extra, we love to tithe. We love to make sure the church is taken care of. But I also like to help people. Kudos to my friend Matt yesterday out. And a ministry group was out feeding the homeless, and I guess they thought he was homeless. He doesn't have his beard anymore, so I don't know why, but it's okay. But he actually decided to talk to him, and he wanted to make a donation, and found out how much it would cost for the next week's pizza lunch that they do, and he paid for the whole thing. I mean, that's just awesome. That's the kind of passion we want, and that's the kind of love we want to shine and spread on people. And that's what Lorianne and I do. We go out of our way to make sure, everybody's taken care of as best as we can. We'll help anybody we can. We'll bend over backwards to make sure you're okay, because you know what? A lot of people say, oh, those guys are just con artists on the street corners. It doesn't matter. It's where your heart is. It doesn't matter where their heart is. God will shine on you because you took care of them. So I've jumped all over the place today. I really didn't know how to describe or explain what I'm doing spiritually, other than I'm just getting deeper in the Word for my knowledge and wisdom. I'm getting deeper in my walk and talk with God. I'm just working harder to be a better person every day, just loving on everybody and just letting people see Jesus through me. And that's the ultimate goal. I'm not out there to beat people over the head with the Bible. I'm not out there to tell them, you're going to hell because you're a sinner, because you know what? We're all sinners, and we all deserve to go to hell. So that's not my shtick. I'm just there to tell everybody that, you know what, man, I love you, God loves you, and if you want to know more, then I'll tell you more. And for those of you who don't believe, I still love you. It doesn't matter. And I always love to say this. My wife says it so best, is, I'm out there doing my best to be a better person, love on people, follow the word, follow the good book, as some people call it. And if I'm wrong, what have I lost? Nothing. I was just a good guy. I'm now in the dirt, dead. Okay? But I don't believe that. I believe you don't end up in the dirt dead. I believe you go to one of two places. So I've done these things to be better. But you know what? You might want to ask yourself, what happens if you're wrong? What are the consequences then? Anyway, enough about that. That's my spiritual rebuild for the day. I hope it made some sense to you. I hope it didn't bore you and babble too much. I tend to do that when I talk about this because I'm not sure where to pinpoint exactly what I'm doing. But it's just a mindset, I believe. It's a focus thing, and it's a building a relationship. All right? So I hope y'all got that. I love you. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Water you turned into wine. Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you. None like you. Into the darkness you shine.